All right, so we're in here. I'm Shock Exchange Court. This is Trump and the GE, and this is Trump implies Biden and Kamala rhetoric driving assassination attempts. As everybody knows, former President Trump was shot at in July in Butler, Pennsylvania, by a sniper who apparently the Secret Service had seen up on a roof, or rumors a guy had walked to the campaign rally with a ladder and a gun and a rangefinder, what have you, and that only way you could shoot at a president at an outdoor rally, you had to be able to find high ground. There were buildings that should have been secured, but they weren't for some reason, and somehow this nerdy kid was allowed to get on top of a building and shoot at the president with Secret Service and police around. It's incredible. He was shot at again yesterday at a golf club down in Florida. How he knew where President Trump would be and what time he'd be there is still unclear. So the details are still coming out. The question remains, why all the assassination attempts? What's driving these assassination attempts? The first sniper was shot and killed, so we won't get many answers from him. So they detained this guy, whoever he was. And this is what the president had to say. He said the rhetoric from Kamala and Biden is driving the assassination attempts and the lies. Here we go. Here's one of his tweets. All right, so here's what he says. The rhetoric lies as exemplified by the false statements made by Comrade Kamala Harris, implying that she's a communist, during the rigged and highly partisan ABC debate, and all of the ridiculous lawsuits specifically designed to inflict damage on Joe's and then Kamala's political opponent, me, has taken politics in our country to a new level of hatred, abuse, and distrust. Because of the communist left rhetoric, the bullets are flying. And it will only get worse. Allowing millions of people from places unknown to invade and take over our country is an unpardonable sin. Our borders must be closed, and the terrorists, criminals, and mentally insane immediately removed from American cities and towns, deported back to their country's origin. We want people to come into our country, but they must love our nation and come in legally and through a system of merit. The world is laughing at us as fools. They are stealing our jobs and our wealth. We cannot let them laugh any longer. Make America great again. All right. So President Trump is saying that the lies against him are driving the bullets. The bullets are flying out to the lies and the lawsuits. Let's break this down. So even during the debate with Kamala Harris, she called the president unhinged. I mean, not unhinged, but she implied that he was dividing the country, that he was delusional and a big liar. Okay? That someone who couldn't recognize the truth. Those are all talking points. He's already been the president, so we know what his presidency was like. And whether he's dividing the country or not, she never really shows any evidence. She just keeps repeating these talking points, the same talking points that the Democratic Party was repeating after he got elected. The same talking points the corporate media has repeated over and over and over again since he's gotten elected, and since he's running for president again. He's going to divide the country. He's unhinged. The corporate media has compared him to other dictators. I won't name names, but other dictators. He's unhinged. He's a big liar. He's going to divide the country. They don't like his personality or his attitude. They don't like him personally. But what's driving the rise of Donald Trump, who knows? They never really tell you. It's all, according to the corporate media, it's racism and something else that's driving the rise of Trump, which isn't true. We've talked about on the show what's driving the rise of Trump and populist leaders around the world. We talked about it before. So even Kamala Harris, during the debate, kept bringing up this impression that he's dividing the country. She brought up Charlottesville. And the seeds of Charlottesville were sown during the Obama administration. And she's saying that people were in Charlottesville with tiki torches. What's that got to do with Donald Trump? Trump didn't tell people to go down there with tiki torches. They were down there removing statues of Robert E. Lee. I'm from the South. You go down and touch those statues, you touch those flags, you touch people's history has been told to them over and over and over again. You're going to get a reaction from white men down south, which was the whole goal, to trigger white men down south and then blame it on Trump. Trump did it. No, Trump didn't tell anybody to take down Robert E. Lee's statue in Charlottesville. He didn't tell people to take down Robert E. Lee's statue in Monument Avenue in Richmond, Virginia, or other Confederate leaders. He didn't tell anybody to do that. And after all this talk about taking down the statues, where's it gotten in the country? Where's it gotten blacks? Are blacks any better off? No. They're taking down the statues. And people still suffering from rising prices and flat to declining incomes. But at least he took the statues down and took down some flags, according to people in the corporate media and certain politicians. So she brought that up. She brought up the fact that people stormed the Capitol building during January 6th. Trump didn't tell anybody to storm our Capitol building. But she made it seem like it was connected to Trump, that he did it, and that Trump had something to do with Charlottesville. Because Trump's fault that people took down a statue and white men down south got triggered and they were out there in Charlottesville fighting. People on both sides. Out there fighting, which had nothing to do with Trump. So she raised that issue. Trump talked about the lawsuits. He was impeached twice when he was the president. They said the Russians got him elected, which was not true. He was impeached twice. It's something like he's doing something wrong. He's being sued around the country. 2 lawsuits in New York, 1 in D.C., 1 in Atlanta. He's saying these lawsuits are being driven by his political opponents, that they're weaponizing certain agencies against him because he's a threat to Biden and Kamala Harris politically. And nobody has an answer for it. That we become a banana republic where you go around and you basically attack people who are a threat to you politically. And then they constantly call him a liar. During the debate, it was the moderators were signaling to the public that President Trump is a liar. They kept fact-checking Trump and didn't fact-check Kamala. Every time he said something, they fact-checked it, like as if he was lying, which gives a signal to the public that Trump's a liar. There are people who can't discern. The public can't think for themselves. Okay? And the Founding Fathers knew this. They knew that the public could be easily swayed by the media. That's why we have an electoral college. The Founding Fathers knew that you couldn't let the public elect the president because people can be easily swayed by the media. They believe anything they hear on TV. And there are people who can be easily swayed by the rhetoric coming from the corporate media, coming from MSNBC, CNN, or ABC, or coming from the Democratic Party. There are a lot of people who are smart enough to discern that, with the truth from, political speech to people just saying stuff because they get paid to say it or because Trump is a threat to somebody politically. The general public can't discern that. All they know is people on TV keep repeating the same message over and over and over again. And you repeat a message with these institutions have a big bandwidth, MSNBC, CNN, CBS, so on and so forth. It's going to become the truth. Whether it's the truth or not, it will eventually become the truth. And people start to believe it. And Trump is now saying that his political opponents are causing these assassination attempts. And while Biden and Kamala Harris may publicly say stuff like, oh, well, we can't attack people due to political speech, they haven't toned down the rhetoric. They haven't chastised the corporate media for repeating this rhetoric either. Comparing Trump to a dictator, saying he's unhinged, calling him a big liar, he's going to divide the country, democracy and capitalism are at risk if he gets elected again. This is coming from the corporate media that's supposed to be unbiased and report the news. There's no more Walter Cronkite anymore who just tells it the way it is, tells it like it is. There are people who are saying stuff, who apparently get paid to say stuff that benefits the Democratic Party. So that's Trump implies Biden and Kamala rhetoric driving assassination attempts. Thank you. Thank you for listening.